them to. There's an area in me that I'm trying to get them to. There's a zenith in me that I'm trying to catapult them to. And the reality is that there are some areas in their lives that are hindering them from being everything that I've called for them to be. So what I'm doing is I'm turning up the heat in their life so that I can eradicate everything that's in them that's disqualifying them from going to their next level. And I wonder, is there anybody in here other than me that wants God so bad that you just will scream out loud, turn the heat up in my life.
Turn the heat up in my life.
Turn the heat up until it's eradicated. Turn the heat up in my life until it's destroyed. He says, I'm turning the heat up in your life because there's some things in you. And there's some things that are attached to you that's disqualifying you from going to your next level. Oh, God, it's quiet in this Episcopalian church. I'm going to say it one more time. He said there's some things in you. He says, I got to get it out of you. You know, that's why I struggle, Dr. Browning, with the 21st century church. And the reason why I struggle with the 21st century church is because, watch this, it's because we as individuals focus on sensual sins, but we never deal with the social. I can't get no help. Okay, it's quiet. It's quiet. It's quiet. We focus on the sensual sins, but we never touch on the social. We talk about homosexuality, which it is a sin. We talk about lesbianism, which it is a sin. We talk about fornication, which it is a sin. We talk about adultery, which it is a sin. But we never go to Colossians chapter number 3, verses 1 through 10, where it not only deals with the sensual sins, but it also deals with the social. We don't talk about backbiting. We don't talk about gossiping. Y'all quiet. I can't get no help. We don't talk about that. And I've been pastoring for a little time now. And one thing I've learned is I ain't never met nobody that left the church. Y'all ain't gonna say amen. I ain't met nobody that left the church because of a homosexual being in the church. I ain't never met nobody that left the church because of a lesbian being in the church. I ain't never met nobody that left the church because of fornication or because, if you will, of adultery. But I know a whole lot of folk that done walked out of the church because mother so-and-so couldn't keep her mouth shut. And she told everybody's business. We got to deal with some social. Y'all don't want to help me up in here. And that's why God's turning the heat up in your life. He said, because your mouth's too big, you talk too much. You done ran more folk away from the body of Christ with your long skirt on and your hat and your pretty nails. You sitting next to folk, don't speak to them, and then you call yourself spiritual, speaking in 7 different dialects and tongues, but you can't speak to the person that you sit next to. The devil is a lie. I feel like I'm about to go there in a minute. So he says, I'm turning up the heat in your life. And the reason why I'm turning up the heat in your life is because I got to deal with some issues. I got to deal with the fact that you call yourself spiritual, but you mean as a junkyard dog. Always angry, always embittered, walking around here looking like or think you look like you're spiritual. And the truth of the matter is you look like you've been sucking on lemons and persimmons. And the reality is that you're not spiritual. You just angry. You just mean. You just bitter. So God says, I'm turning the heat up in your life because I need to sweeten you up a little bit. I need them to see that holiness and righteousness is not just about you walking around here acting like you so such a much, but you know how to be common. You know how to touch. You know how to love somebody. So he says, I'm turning the heat up in your life, number one. I'm turning the heat up in your life, number one, because I need to deal with some internal issues. I got to deal with some stuff on the inside of you. He said, and not only do I got to deal with some internal issues, I got to deal with some attachments. Y'all will get it in a few minutes. I got to deal with some attachments, some connections that you have on the inside that are attached to you that you don't want to let go of. Let me pause here for a minute, because I told the first service that yesterday was the 7-year anniversary, if you will, of me laying my wife to rest. It was the day that my children and I said goodbye to her for the absolute last time. It was the last time I saw her in a physical state. The last time that I kissed her, the last time that I hugged her was on this day yesterday at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I can remember like yesterday. I can remember it so very clearly after I covered her for the last time, because I was not just her husband, I was her pastor. After I closed the casket for the last time and grabbed a hold of my 3 adolescent children, holding them close to me, God began to speak to me, and he had the strangest conversation with me. What was the conversation that he had, Bishop Marvin? He asked me a very strange question. After I closed my wife's casket, he asked me, what did you learn from this? I began to listen to God, and at first I thought it was the devil, so I began to cast down that imagination. But then it came back at me again and said, what did you learn from this? When he asked me what did I learn, I said, God, what are you talking about? He said, listen to me, son, listen. I need you to listen and be clear. He said, what did you learn from this? I got indignant and I began to just reply. I said, what should I have learned, God? He said something that blew my mind. He said, if you didn't learn anything from this situation, what you should have learned is that every relationship outside of your relationship with me is seasonal. Okay, y'all gonna get it in a few minutes. And the problem that God has with some of us is that we've been taking folks from past seasons into new seasons of our lives. But God sent me by here to tell you that it's time for you to detach, and it's time for you to let it go. Touch. That's a good place to touch somebody. Touch somebody and say, let it go. You've been holding on to some stuff for too long, and the reason why you can't go to your next level is because you've been holding on to some things from your past that you should have let go a long time ago. However, let me pause here for a minute, because anything that you keep past season, watch this, is spoiled. Anything that is spoiled is toxic. Anything that is toxic can kill you. Why are you holding on to toxic relationships, staying connected to toxic people, holding on to toxic thoughts? You need to make up in your mind in this season that I'm about to let it go, because I cannot live in my history and go after my destiny. I gotta let some stuff go. Touch somebody and say, let it go.
Let it go.
Yes, beloved, God is challenging each and every one of us in this season of our lives. He's challenging us to let some stuff go, because we've been walking around angry for too long. We've been walking around embittered for too long. We've been walking around here with an attitude for too long. And God is saying that if you want what I have, you have to make a conscious decision that you're going to refuse to allow what has happened to be in your present state of mind. And you made up in your mind today that I'm removing myself from this mindset that I cannot go any further than where I am right now, because what God has for me is far greater than what has happened in my life. And maybe that's not encouraging to anybody, but it's absolutely encouraging to me to know that even though I've been through some hard times, because I remain faithful and because I remain committed, that God has a promise for me. And the promise is that in the midst of my struggle and in the midst of every challenge in my life, he made me an assurance that I'm going to get double for my trouble. Look at somebody real fast and tell them for me, tell them, say one time, tell them, say, God's got you, beloved, even in the midst of what you're facing right now. That's why you don't need to be discouraged just because things are not going the way you planned, because even in the midst of all of that, God is trying to work some things out, and he's trying to make some things right in your life. See, what I love about God is that he specializes in doing things that are impossible behind closed doors. Look at your neighbor real fast and tell him, say, neighbor. Some of y'all still looking at me. I said, look at your neighbor real fast. Tell him, say, neighbor, it's up to something in my life. I feel like preaching. Is there anybody here under the sound of my voice today know that God's working some things out in your life right now? You thought that you were going to stay in the position that you're in. You thought you were going to just deal with the struggles of your life. But what blesses me is good. It's up to something in my life. I wish you would touch your neighbor. Touch them almost for the last time. And just tell them for me one time. Tell them, say, God. I wish I could get a witness up in here. I said, tell them, God, it's up to something in my life. And since now that you know that that the God that you serve is trying to work some things out in your life right now. Now that you know that even though the enemy has come in like a flood, that the Spirit of the Lord is lifting up a standard against him. Now that you know that God is about to push you to a brand new level, take you to higher heights, shift you to a brand new dimension, something on the inside of you ought to make you say, I came in depressed, but I'm about to shift my attitude and my actions. Is there anybody here that made up your mind that I'm about to shift my actions and my attitude? What am I about to do? I'm about to open up my mouth and give him real glory. Is there